group of cops go to this apartment complex, and they raid this whole. They look for this one killer who is just basically just killing all these people. It's definitely a very violent film. It's from the Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park did the music to this. It's definitely really worth checking out if you're a big action fan. How many more time do I have?
Well, you need to make it a minute, so.
Okay.
Anything else?
A movie I want to talk to you guys, about in movie theaters that I've lately seen is End of Watch, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. This movie is basically about Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena are two rookie cops who are like the best in the business, and they get involved in this drug cartel that are like Hispanic drug cartel.
Mexican.
Or the same thing.
What?
Mexican drug cartel.
And Jake Gyllenhaal was shooting a movie.
And it's
What?
basically like Jake Gyllenhaal's perspective. He supposedly, his character films the whole movie. And it just shows you how cops are really, it's very realistic, very violent film. Very good acting. Definitely worth checking that one out.
Boggle.
And it does have a lot of comedic parts with the Michael Pena and Jake Gyllenhaal's character. Next, another movie worth checking out is Premium Rush, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Michael Shannon. Is basically about a New York bike messenger who gets this envelope from a college girl that he knows, and he finds out the guy that's looking for him that wants the envelope is a detective who's basically a dirty cop who gambles and wants money, and the Asian girl's trying to get her son into America. So the whole movie's basically about Michael Shannon, the detective, is chasing down Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character and the detective. It's basically just like a cat and mouse movie.
And it shows the different perspectives. What happens throughout the day.
Yeah, it shows you like what happens during the day, what time this started, what happened this time, and then so basically it's a really fun, entertaining movie if you like kind of like it's kind of like a throwback to like an 80s film kind of. The acting isn't really that good, played by the villain Michael Shannon, but basically I'll just give this a recommend.
Any other movies you saw?
Any other movies? Expendables 2. This one they basically get involved with this.
Bruce Willis.
They get involved with this Jean-Claude Van Damme is the villain in this one, and he's a Russian, like a convict. I mean, a con artist who steals gold or something.
No, it was uranium for it.
Yeah, uranium, and he basically Sylvester Stallone, and all the other expendable characters except Jet Li, because Jet Li goes back to his home in this movie, and he gets replaced by Chuck Norris, he's basically a mercenary, and Chris Hemsworth is they bring him up as a rookie sniper. He's from the Marine Army, and he basically gets murdered by Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's basically another good action film worth checking out if you like the Expendables first one better. You should go check out the second one. Definitely another movie you should go out and see is Possession, starring Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Kira Sedgwick. It's basically about this girl who gets possessed by this box she buys at a yard sale from her father. And the father is divorced with her, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays a sports coach, high school basketball coach.
No, college.
And he gets promoted to become a coach in the big leagues, and all of a sudden the daughter becomes possessed by this box, and no one knows what's going on with her until he finds out this demon in there is like a Jewish demon, and it's very creepy. Definitely worth checking that one out.
Hit and Run.
Hit and Run is very good. It has Bradley Cooper and Tom Arnold and Kristen Bell. It's basically about a ex-con artist who basically helps this guy rob a bank, and he's the driver. And this time it's basically about Bradley Cooper's character gets out of jail, and
No.
Kristen Bell's ex-boyfriend
That's
doesn't.
Bradley Cooper.
What? No, Kristen Bell's ex-boyfriend, doesn't feel that Dax Shepard's character, Charlie Bronson, is something's fishy about him. So he hires Bradley Cooper to track him down, because Bradley Cooper and him were buddies back in the crime. And so it's basically like a comedic road trip comedy following Tom Arnold, who's a U.S. Marshal who's an alcoholic, and you find out he's a homosexual. And then it's just a very off-the-wall, independent, funny comedy. Another movie you should check out. What else have we seen?
I don't know. What else have we seen?
Hit and Run. What else did we see when we saw Hit and Run?
We saw Hit and Run.
Hit and Run, Possession, Expendables 2.
We saw Possession.
Oh,
right?
Timothy Green.
Oh, The Odd Life of Timothy.
Odd Life of Timothy Green, about a couple who can never have a child, so they put
These stuff in a box.
stuff in the box
Characteristics.
of what the perfect child would be. They plant it and they bury it, and all of a sudden this boy named Timothy Green comes to in their lives, who comes out of the garden. Nobody knows where he came from,
And he has sleeves on his legs.
and his leaves on his leg represent his life, basically. And once his leaves are gone, he goes. And basically the movie is very sad, very heartwarming. It shows you how a town can be changed by one single boy. That's basically that movie. It's another Disney movie that it didn't really get looked at by people. Paranorman. Yeah, I have a lot of movies I've seen. Paranorman is basically about a boy named Norman who is a very different kind of guy. He sees dead people in his town. He gets picked on for being different, and his sister is just a very snobby person who, she's one of them valley girl kind of people, and his parents don't really understand him. And all of a sudden, his town is getting taken over by this witch girl. He's kind of like she was kind of
Like
the
him.
same person like Paranorman, but they killed her because they thought she was a witch.
And then
he's got to save the town from the zombies. And then his sister joins in. She tries to fall in love with this guy who's basically a high school jock. And you find out that he's a homosexual at the end of the movie. This one's definitely very good. I don't think it's recommended for kids. Born Legacy with Jeremy Renner. This one's it's got a lot of good action scenes. It's very slow at times, and it just leaves you hanging. I think that's basically all the movies I've seen that are in the theater, and all the DVDs, and that's it. So you can check me out on YouTube under
Andy.
the Indie Wrestling Fan. You can also go to my Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Jason Hevel, or you can check out my new Facebook page, www.facebook.com/IndieWrestlingQA, and like my page for the Indie Wrestling Q&A, and check out some more videos from me coming soon.